Hello guys, today we're doing so-called weirdness and I had to eat a water of pot
project. It has been a resident of the online world since the mid to late 2000s, working on various concepts. One I found was a game called Shader. Lots and lots of fun. It appears that Yandere Dev was a man with many ideas. So let's talk about the idea that has brought us to this titular game. He conceived the idea of Yandere Simulator in 2014, pitched it to the internet, and allegedly after receiving positive feedback, decided to initiate development, starting a YouTube channel to document this development and progress. The YouTube channel, like all channels, was a bit slow at first, but in perspective gained subscribers at a relatively rapid pace, catapulting its content and the respective project into the public eye. It wasn't too long before other large creators gave the game a burst of publicity, including PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and IAS Cupquake. Given its accessibility, even in the early stage of development, Yandere Simulator was pushed towards the spotlight. And although it was not remotely near finished, many were more than willing to let this slide, considering that it was an independently funded venture. And sometimes true quality does indeed take time. He would typically upload content that would provide updates and ideas and was interactive on social media. However, it was a lot to do for one person. With this in mind, in 2014, Yandere Dev also set up a Patreon to support this endeavour, and it gained a reasonable amount of donors, at one point totaling $5,000 a month. With the production in full motion, new ideas ready to be worked on, plenty of traction and support from the community members, and even the odd volunteer along the way, everything seemed to be going
I drank it for 1 minute.
However, if it was a perfect story, we wouldn't be here today.
So if you don't know, I added Japan.
You'd see many issues. Yandere Dev has now amassed over 2.6 million subscribers. His content appears to receive universally positive feedback from his audience, and his subreddit is a place of joy and many videos equally well received, dishing out some hard-hitting criticism. You see, our friend Alex here seemed to have a lot of creative ideas, which definitely gave him this project on principle.
She forced herself to do it.
Progress being made on the game. 1 year passed, 2 years passed, 3 years passed, 4 years passed, but people didn't know what it feels like, Ryan. Now, many games take a long time, and with one developer, it was obviously not expected to be completed However, many began to challenge whether the project was comparable to theirs.
Sorry about that, because Ryan's been a total wimpo. Hey, Ryan is so they always have naked.
There were a diversity of criticisms.
Only his pants is in. But Ryan, get close, okay? Here's a maggot. He's SCT mile wall.
Many stating that his hostility and often censorious response to criticism shows an arrogant and entitled side to him that he had said his responses were just
no, go get close, or else.
Under a lot of pressure to deliver a game that has been weighing
go get
him for a long time.
Close, Ryan.
Other drama regarding attitude and treatment of those around
I mean it.
Alleged harassment, all escalating in severity, and you ended up with a very messy case indeed that came to a head in the year of 2018. If you're confused, don't worry, I'll do my best to get through all of it, and maybe we'll make some friends along the way. Full disclosure, Baf9, my good collaborator friend, put out this tweet which did significantly well in the Twitter. And in reply, he then stated that I was making this video.
That'll be fine.
Both Yandere Dev and a prominent critic of his to reach out to me. Overall, they had quite little impact on my script, but as always, I will put it out there and I will clarify that unless you're someone like Austin Jones, I'm not here to bite your head off. There's going to be a lot of criticisms and opinions from me, but as always, I encourage everyone to form their own. I'd also stress that some of this criticism is retrospective. You'll know by the tense I use. There is no guarantee that individuals involved feel the same today about a lot of these things, but these instances have had a butterfly effect onto the current situation, and this cannot be ignored. Now, let's talk about the video game that was almost completely derailed by internet drama. Ladies and gentlemen, it's gamer time. Given that the root of this video is the game and the origins, I think it's most appropriate that we begin there. Yandere Simulator as a concept was conceived around the 2014 period. The first Yandere Dev was a one-man band working on the project. He may have had a lot of drive, it's hard to tell completely. In the late 2014 interview with Tech Raptor, he seemed to be pretty motivated. He had some decent ideas of what he wanted to do with the game, even if they weren't fully realised. But You don't exactly need them to be at that
Need
point.
to think of a name.
To genuinely enjoy interaction.
Comment down below
Of the
to Japan.
delightful medium of emails, stating that it filled him with joy. At the end of the interview, he committed to making a game that would fulfill expectations and not let anyone down. But that is easier said than done. Projects on a large scale are always a challenge to an extent. You will inevitably go through periods of high and low motivation.
I'll be still here.
Easy process. However, there are also things you can do to facilitate
also, I just
of a game
remake
to maximize the efficiency and to make sure you're able to turn out high quality products.
Also, I just turned the first Doctors into
These are all important aspects of management without even considering PR. PR meaning that you need to build hype and turn out content that eventually justifies the hype. Now, Yandere Simulator is clearly a neat concept that's popular with many people, but it's also just a game, and given the fact that the developer hasn't exactly released any other acclaimed work for people to build on,
make sure the game is completely fresh,
and his ability to deliver a game has to be
fresh.
With the almost immediate success of Yandere Dev, on principle, it seemed like there was a lot to celebrate. When a concept is popular and takes off, you have a lot of momentum, and a lot of people and businesses wanting to provide their services. However, if you're not prepared for this success, then it can yield many problems for anyone. Probably one of the best examples of this is child stars. Now, children need to be represented in media to an extent, and many of them deal with it reasonably well. However, for those who have been thrown into the spotlight at such a young age, whether it was due to a hit song or an iconic film performance, many don't deal with the sudden spotlight and pressure too well. Many end up in rather uncharitable places. In many instances, it's the case of peaking so early and having so much pressure to maintain that. In other cases, it's simply not being prepared for the responsibility the success brings. Although Yandere Dev is by no means what one would consider a child star, the Yandere Simulator's spontaneous success was somewhat impossible, and I don't think Yandere Dev was remotely ready for what it meant, not just as a creator, but as the developer of a game. Although the 2014 origin was pretty relaxed, 2015 was met with a huge spike in attention, with the aforementioned creators showcasing the game to millions of fans. Publicity can be premature, and for Yandere Simulator, it was. Let me explain why. As noted, the build-up of a game is partly about hype. Typically, the discovery of a new game or a new piece of media will lead to a process where we either discard that discovery and leave it behind, or we become more invested and we fall down whatever rabbit hole that game has. Nonetheless, it's unlikely our venture down that rabbit hole will last forever. Eventually, we will hit a wall where we can no longer find any new information, and the information that we already know no longer engages us. For some people, this takes longer than others, and in a way, that's all right. Now, when we hit that wall, we have one of two responses. We can leave the source of what we know behind and continue with our lives, destined to fall down another rabbit hole eventually, or we can try and obtain new information by either creating it ourselves or trying to get it from the creator. This is often represented by the sentiment of impatience. I'll return to that soon. However, I want to make the point that although Yandere Simulator was an interesting concept, and it was great that Yandere Dev had a lot of support in developing it initially, Yandere Simulator wasn't developed enough to be deserving of the publicity it received. Yandere Dev had very ambitious ideas for the game. At the time of the game, although you could run around and do a few actions, some of which were fairly brutal and amusing in their shock value, there was no deeper substance. This meant the game built hype almost immediately, yet off the back of mostly very superficial elements. So if you go right over to my account and go to my Patreon, Yandere Dev felt the pressure to maintain that hype, but as said, it's equally a PR job as it is a developer's job, so he liked to document progress, which is a time-consuming venture. In the short term, this is a sensible decision to make, but it could only work out long-term if the decisions that he made were backed by his ability. The decisions you make early on in the development of a game can have long-term effects at a later stage. You're setting the foundations. On top of this, as documented in a later video, any possible overhaul of the game seemed troublesome because the dev was worried that doing that would kill the hype.
The game is only alive for as long as people are interested in it. If people lose interest in the game, it's dangerous.
Test.
If I release updates, people will remain interested in the game. If I release updates slowly, people will lose interest in the game, and the game will get closer to death.
Given that so